Hi guys, so this video is going to be the brushes that I use on a daily basis when I do my makeup. And I do have two videos on my brush collection and things like that. One is a 10-piece set from Arbonne, and one is just all my brushes. So you just check that out if you want to know all my brushes. These are just the ones that I use on a daily basis that I'll go over with you right now. So I'm going to start out with the face brush. So one of the things I use is this one, which is a Spa Resort stipple brush. I really like this brush. It is I do need to wash it. It is a dual fiber, and it's the cheapest dual fiber stippling brush I ever found, and it's quite good of a quality for its price. I would say this black part here, it is kind of rough, but you're honestly only going to use the top bit of it, so it's not going to be an issue. And it is only about $8, and you can find it at Walmart. I don't know in the US you can find it in the Walmart, but I think it's a Canadian brand that you can find in the Canadian Walmart. So this is a stippling brush. Another brush I use, I use it for liquid foundations. I use that brush. Another thing I use is this flat paddle brush here. I use it for my tinted moisturizers when I use a tinted moisturizer. Especially now in the summer, I do that. I sometimes apply it with my hands, my tinted moisturizer, but if I do want to use a brush, I use this one. This is the foundation brush from the Posh brush set. I got a 10-piece brush set for only $19.99. So this is a great brush. And then for powder products like bronzers or setting powders and things like that, I would use a big fluffy brush. This one I got, my mom gave it to me while she was buying my grandma a whole bunch of, I think it was face powders and things like that. It was like 10 years ago. And she had these brushes and she never used. So I picked it up, and it's really good quality because it's Elizabeth Arden. It is quite like a very pricey high-end brand. And this one is just a big powder brush that I use for powder products on my face and for bronzers, for powdered bronzers. Okay, and then for blush, I use a cream blush, so I just use my fingers mostly, so that's for that. And then for the eyes, most used brush I would say is the Arbonne brush. This is from the 10-piece Arbonne that I was talking about. It's just a flat shader brush for all over the lid. I always use it. It packs color in really well. And the tip of it, you see here, it's not that thick. That's how thick it is. And the tip of it, you can use it to do a highlight. If I'm doing a look that is not too of an intense look, and I just want like a tiny bit of highlighting, I would just use the tip of this brush there, grab some highlight color, and apply it on like my brow bone there. Okay, and for crease, I actually do a backwards thing because I'm kind of weird that way. I actually use the Xoxo crease blender brush as my crease brush. Actually, it's more pointed, so it's easier to get in the crease because I'm Asian, so I have Asian eyes, as you can see, so I don't have that defined crease, you know, where your eyes hollow in. I don't have that really defined there, so it's hard to find where it is and to precisely apply it there. So I like to use more of a fine tip brush. So I use the crease blending brush for the crease color. It's from Xoxo. You can get it at Shoppers Drug Mart. And then I use their crease, I guess you call it their crease shadow brush for blending. I think this works better for blending. I see a lot of people here on YouTube when they do videos and they use like Sigma or MAC brushes or whatever brushes they use. Their blending brushes are really fluffy like this. I've never seen one that is kind of like a taper to a point there. So I just use this for blending, and it works better for blending than to put color on it, honestly. I can use it to put color on as well if I have some lighter color, you know, sheer wash of color. If it's not too dark, like if I don't deepen my crease or whatever, I can just use this too. It works. But usually I use it for to blend out my colors. Works really well. And then if I'm doing a very dark, deep look and I want some very good highlighting to clean off the edges, I use more of a skin tone highlight, sort of more matte. I would use like lighter than my skin tone, obviously, but more matte, and I would use this kind of a brush. I have no clue what you call it. It has a very flat top. This is just a random generic brand that my aunt gave me. Like, that's how thick it is. And I just apply it here. Sometimes the edges, I have to clean it up. I just use this to apply some of the highlight shadow and clean up the edges and whatnot. So it's a great brush for that. And very seldomly, if I need to apply it, shadow on my lower lash line, if I want to give it a pop of color or whatnot, I would use the Arbonne angled liner brush. I find that this brush is too thick for liner for upper lash line, so I wouldn't recommend you using that for that. But if you just want like kind of a color on your lower lash line, some shadow, this is a great brush. Yeah, so those are all my brushes that I use on a daily basis. I don't always use all the brushes. Yes, but these are all the majority of the brushes I use all the time. And I do have other brushes in my collection. These are just a few of them, you know. So I thank you for taking your time out of your day or night to come spend however minutes this is to watch my video. And I'll see you next time in the next video. Bye for now.